Hi, welcome. I am Story Dreamers, and this is a new fanfiction. And the best few fanfiction that I read in this channel all was anime or anime-ish things. Just to remember, like was uh, Princess Principal anime, and there was uh, Corpse Party, which is a video game, but kind of anime. This time we will not do anime, we'll do another thing, which is a normal TV show from the 90s, which is my favorite TV show of all time. Actually, I will say that understatement about Quantum Leap, which is if I put a list of my favorite media and I put every TV show, movie, anime, comic, video games, and other stuff too, Quantum Leap will be number one. That's how much I love this show. And how much was disappointed to see the last season a few years ago when I find out how to get it because it only aired like the first two season or something like that in my country, so I never see the end until much later on. And I was so happy about it. But the ending was like kind of that shit. But this why fanfiction exists. The Price of Rest by MissAnnThropic. It should have been a leap in like any other. Leap in, save someone in trouble. Leap out. But on that last leap, the leap out, Bart hit a snag. This is from what I understand. It is like a real final episode because a lot of fans hate the final episode because it was like make a lot of stuff and insert. So this is was like this is like an something about that. It rated fictional T English friendship hurt comfort 5,200 word get 18 review. We'll look at them later on. 23 favorite who follow for some reason someone followed this story even it's like one chapter. It published in 2008. It complete and this is the ID if you want to go to it or go to the my description section to get the link because I saw so many people who do fanfiction reading and don't want the link and I hate when they do that. Okay, title The Price of Rest. Author MissAnnThropic. Summary. It should have been a leap in like any other leap in. Save someone in trouble, leap out. But on that last leap, the leap out part hit a snag. Disclaimer. Let's see. Sam, Al, Joshi, Ziggy. I didn't see the show for so long. I forgot a lot of names like Gashi. I forgot Gashi. I know Ziggy is the sound who they call through the phone. Nope, none of the character in here is mine. Are mine. Author note, every once in a while I will write a fic that I don't walk away from feeling disappointed. This one was one of those rare thumb in my eyes. Al, wake up! Admiral Calavici grumble and crack open his eye. Reluctantly, his internal clock told him it was a god awful o'clock of thoroughbot. There better to be a good reason for walking him. Then he remembered he'd been walking by a woman's voice. Good reason, he decided at once, and he sought more information about his lovely midnight visitor. He peered up at the shadowed figure of a woman bending over him in bed, watching him with darkened bedroom. Bitch black-eyed and whispering his name. Her hands on his bare shoulder jostled again. Al? He knew then who it was. Yeah, I'm awake. Shh, don't wake Tina. Sprawled in nude delight across his chest was Tina, a sprinting little thing in bed and out, smarter than she looked, but it didn't stop her from having fun. Or Al. Al's arm was curled around her, keeping her from wandering off and leaving his bed cold. There were few things Al hated more than he hated cold bed. Normally, Al would be happy as a clam to have one naked woman in his arm and another woman come to him in the night. But Al looked up at Dr. Alessi and his stomach became knot. What wrong? He asked in a low voice. Alessi was very still, and in the dark Al couldn't read what her expression might be betray. Instead, it was the forlorn tone in her voice when she answered that settled like lead in his blood. He awake and lost. Damn! On instant he was moving before he could even think about it. It struck Al how much it sounded like he was a new father answer the well of his newborn son. If only it were anything so joyous. But Al had long ago come to the realization that the broken man who needed him now was the closest thing to a son he might ever have. I think have is the best word. And right now Sam needed Al. Al gently disengaged himself from Tina. She whimpered like a disturbed puppy. When her human pillow was gone, she grabbed Al's pillow and hugged that instead. Oh, snuggled down with content sight. Al touched her hair softly once. It was kind of depressing to know his replacement was cotton and feather down. Alice disappeared while Al was groping in the dark for his clothes. She never stayed anyway. She knew she couldn't help. It was hard for her to watch someone else be the comfort and support to her own husband. That she shouldn't be Al. Didn't blame her. He knew it hurt her. He didn't ask her to suffer it, nor did he hold it against her when she left him to tend to Sam on his own. Al found some black slack and a widely patterned shirt in a pile on the floor. A pair of loafers made the ensemble utterly garish, but it will do. The Admiral left his quarters inside the subterranean compound of Project Quantum Leap and went looking for his best friend. The first place he always checked was control room. Sam liked to sit on the floor like a child in front of television and talk to Ziggy. Sam was always seeking answer and Ziggy always had answers, sometimes bad one, but she never looked sadly at Sam or pitied him or cuddled him with empty resentment. That everything will be okay. Ziggy told Sam the truth, as best as her supercomputer processor understood it, and she was someone Sam remembered better than his own wife. Al met no one in the hallway on his trek, and when he entered the control room, he was disheartened and relieved not to find Sam sitting on the floor, legs crossed and brow knit. Sam only had the one expression lately, lost searching, needing something he couldn't name. Good morning, Admiral Calavici. Ziggy huggly voice called out in greeting. Is it morning? Exactly 3:19 a.m. Having trouble sleeping, Admiral? Al felt like the last good night sleep he'd gotten was before Project Quantum Leap got off the ground on the boardroom table. The chance to be the project observer with a mental link to Dr. Samuel Beckett, gratified genius and potential time traveler extraordinaire, had seemed like an amazing opportunity. He would get to relive history in a way that would be second only to Sam's experience. Instead, it had given Al an almost unbearable sense of responsibility that he come to both love and hate. He was the only link Sam had to his own time to answer while trapped in the bath. Al felt guilty for every minute he was asleep, for every day he went on that Tina outside the complex, for every meal he didn't take in the creepy complex cafeteria on the floor up from the control room, for every second of every day that he wasn't in the imagining chamber with Sam. He wanted to be there constantly for his friend. Often, Al felt like he was watching over Sam like a nervous mother, and he was sick with helplessness. Whatever something happened to Sam, and Al could do nothing but stand by and call to him. That happened all too often. It was pure hell sometimes. Damn, this is good. Actually, so many part of the story was like about these two people friendship and how Al is like really good friend for doing a lot of stuff. They always like alone even that there are so many people around them. Admiral, Ziggy asked at his protect silence. I was sleeping just fine. Donna come and got me. Have you seen Dr. Beckett? I have seen Dr. Beckett on 2,653 occasions. Al was too heart attack and tried to play games with an egoistic smart mouth computer. I mean tonight, Ziggy. Have you seen Dr. Beckett tonight? No need to get testy, Admiral. No, I have not seen Dr. Beckett tonight. Al closed his eye. If I may say so, Admiral Galavici, Dr. Beckett has been most disabled lately. He won't play extrapolation and scenarios with me anymore. Only the Bellar hypercomputer could come across as Winnie. When Sam programmed her, I thought a lot of Sam's childlike quality went into her. Too, it wasn't necessarily a good thing. While they were enduring in Sam, they were irritating in the supercomputer. While he'd been giving her human quality, Sam might have thought to give her a little compassion and sympathy too. He just have a rough time right now. I believe I warned you of the odd of irreparable cerebral damage if the beta retrieval program was activated. Ziggy was on her high horse and defensive. Sam used to call it Ziggy, known it all tone. Or hell, maybe she felt just a tiny bit guilty. Sam was, after all, in some strange way, Ziggy's father. We know you did, Ziggy. We know the risk. There weren't a lot of options. It was Dr. Elias' call, and she had tortured herself over the end result since the moment they got Sam back. Sam's return should have been a happy event, a celebration. Fate, it seemed, didn't take kindly to having its favorite toy snatched away. Sam had been on leave that should have been like any other leave in. Save someone in trouble, leave out. But on that last leave, the leave out part hit a snag. Sam leaped into forest right in Yosemite National Park, there to rescue a 5 years old girl from her deranged uncle. It had been a leap that made Al nearly physically ill. The uncle was not completely Looney Tunes, and infatuated with his brother wife when she refused to have an affair with him. The wacko thought the daughter would be the next best thing, like mother, like daughter, or close enough, was the only thing Al could figure must have been running through the private mind. Melody was her name, a girl with a name as beautiful as she was, with golden hair, bright blue eye, and dimpled smile. She seemed like the kind of kid who liked to laugh a lot, but Al only watched her cry and cringe and shake like a leaf while her uncle kidnapped her from her home and took off into the wood with her. Oh shit. I remember this is kind of like one of the episode or something like that. I forgot. In the original history, she was found, raped, and murdered. Shit. Sam wasn't about to let history repeat itself. Al still had nightmares about the final scene of that horrible leap. Sam came charging to the rescue on Roser's edge of being too late. Uncle Psycho had little Melody down to her flower print painted. The girl wept uncontrollably, bitter and bruised from time before when she tried to fight. She wasn't fighting anyone, just huddled into a ball, helpless and defeated, reduced to just waiting and letting it happen. I didn't see Sam lose his cool often, but Sam took in the scene, realized what was about to happen to a little Melody, and he lost it. He should have used his gun. Sam was armed. He should have used his gun, but his rage at the pile of innocent Melody had driven him past the point of rational thinking. Sam leaped on the guy, bloodily dragged him from the child, and started hitting him. Because Sam Beckett is awesome. One of my favorite main characters in every fiction ever. I'll watch it at it all happen, yelling at Sam, but now, in retrospect, Al couldn't really say if he'd been yelling at Sam to stop. He may have been yelling at Sam to kill the son of a bitch. Sam beat the twisted man to within an inch of his life. Blood was everywhere. Al remembered a chill breath tied around his chest. At the look in Sam's eye, he'd seen that look before in other men. Al hadn't seen that look since Vietnam. It was a bloodthirst desire to maim and murder that by all rights should never glimmer in the eyes of someone like Sam Beckett. Afraid for his life, Uncle Sick Bastard struggled against Sam somehow. He managed to get the gun holstered at Sam's hip before Al knew what was coming, just as Siggy was screaming at him through the handle about a catastrophic change in time. A gunshot sounded. Al had watched more than his fair share of comrade take a bullet in his day, but at that moment somehow it was like the slug burrowed into him instead. Sam froze and then he slumbered to the ground. Damn. Melody was curled in a ball next to a tree, rocking back and forth and clutching her own legs to her chest so tight her little fingers had turned white. Uncle Asshole crawled away a few feet. Painstakingly, he fought to his knee and began to stumble and lower away. Blood dripped after him from the hell Sam had rained upon him, but Al saw only the blood boiling beneath Sam's body. Al couldn't do anything. Sam was hit in the chest. Faster than Al could think, blood was spilling out of Sam. It was Dr. Elias at Project Quantum Leap watching the report of her husband dying, who made the dreaded call. It was like a resort they had avoided for years, but there was no one coming to rescue Sam this time. The only one close enough to even try to help was traumatized, scared little 5 years old Melody. The beta retrieval program was dangerous. They all knew that. It used atomic energy difference. Al didn't really understand the finer working, only that it had more chance of killing Sam than it did of bringing him home. But at that point, any chance was better than Sam's chance of survival where he was. They activated the beta retrieval program and brought Sam back at home and left Ranger Jeff Anderson to die on the forest floor 10 seconds later, bled to death from point-blank gunshot wounded to the chest. Damn, will you make the last Sam Beckett adventure lost one? This is sad, man. Don't do that. On that end of thing, at last there was some justice. Ranger Anderson died when he shouldn't have, but Melody lived, and a week after Melody was returned to her family after being found by and searched by a rescue dog, the mauled remain of Uncle Dement was found. It seemed all that blood on him has drawn an attention of hungry bear. Al hoped it hurt like hell. So kind of work was let the officer die for nothing. But Sam, he leaped back into his own time, in the place of the ranger in the waiting room, and collapsed his heart and stopped Ziggy through that same body. Remember being on the verge of death, and that the psychosomatic power of that sensation sent him into cardiac arrest. He believed his heart into stopping. Al didn't want to think that was true. He didn't want to think it would be possible to think oneself to death. But if anyone could do it, Sam Beckett called, because Sam Beckett is awesome. The doctor on staff got Sam's heart going again. Got the kid breathing again. By then, the waiting room was crowded. Al, Donna, Tina, Bex, Joshi. They were all watching with bated breath. When Sam inhaled that first time, Donna ran to him. She fell to her knee beside her husband, gathered his head and shoulders into her lap, and clung to him. She cried. Donna had always been so strong with Sam of putting right the wrong of time, but that day she wept and rocked, not unlike Melody had in the forest. She pleaded for Sam to open his eye. When he did, he blinked, gazed up at her, and frowned. Al's heart broke for Donna just remembering that moment. Sam's look had not been how did I get here or what happened. It was, who are you? Oh shit, he lost his memory? Donna fingers caressed Sam's checked had not brought back his memory of his own wife. When Donna cracked Sam, the quantum physics took his eye away from her and searched the room for someone else. Al? Sam called harshly. Donna was barely holding herself together. She looked up at Al, her expression utterly lost. Al knelt down next to his best friend, where he laid sprawled on the floor. I am here, Sam. Sam reached out to Al. He closed his hand around solid flesh and bone. Sam gripped, turned iron strong, and the shaken time traveler bore himself out of Donna's embrace and locked himself arm around Al. Admiral Calavici, you are unusual quiet tonight. Ziggy said, drawing Al back from his memory of that fateful day. Just thinking, Ziggy, I could greatly facilitate the task if you would like. Al snorted wearily. You sound lonely. I was not programmed to function without a human interaction. I am an interactive computer. No one come to see me anymore, except Dr. Beckett, and he has been most unlike himself since that return. Project Quantum Leap was installed, analyzed, and statistics and number count were working overtime to try and decide what Sam returned in conditionment for the future of the program. Al could care less. Quantum Leap had been his dream once, when Sam shared it with him, but now the only thing Al cared about was his shattered partner. Ziggy, why hasn't Sam's memory improved since he got back? His memory have been improved. His memory of other people lived that he lived into. Al contended sharply. That is an improvement over the Swiss cheese phenomenon when he first returned to us. But but the holes should be filled within the life of Sam Beckett and not all the other people he'd been. That is a result of the beta retrieval program that was used to bring him home. I told you. It's not blaming you, Ziggy. Al paused and took a deep breath. It could be worse, Ziggy pointed out carefully. At last he remembered me and you. Yeah. Oh, great. An arrogant, artificial intelligence, and sleep-driven Navy admiral. Yeah, he got a lot to be thankful for. It's not fair, damn it. It's just not fair, Donna. He should remember her after everything Sam did, all the life he saved, and people he helped. Sam deserved better. I have encountered many references in my data archive that insulate quietly thoroughly that life is not always fair. Shit, this is very good. Al felt a great weight settle over his shoulder. He said, I better go find Sam. Come back later and talk to me, Admiral. I am tired of being alone with my data banks. Millions of bits of human history are useless without a human to share them with. Admiral laughed verbally. I'm not your equal, Ziggy. Al thought sadly. You were made to be an equal to a man far greater than I. I'll stop by tomorrow, Ziggy, I promise. Al tried Sam's old office next. Dr. Alice had been using it since Sam vanished. The first time he stepped into the accelerator, so it still had that lived-in feel to it, but not quite lived in by Sam. Sam's office was as big as his brain, and Donna was much neater and cleaner. Anyone who knows Sam like Al did would know that the office had long since stopped being Sam. But Al tried. There, anyway. The office was empty. Through a half-eaten bagel and drained cup of coffee on the table was a proof Donna had been burning the midnight oil. She used to work late to keep her mind off. Sam trapped in time. Now she worked to keep her mind off Sam only a few doors away. Al tried the cafeteria thinking Sam might have gotten hungry, still no joy. Al headed toward the room a small enough television room that Sam had insisted also be packed with books. Literal. Sam's idea of a break from brain-numbing physique, a theory application research was more reading, just of a different brand. The kid really needed to learn how to relax properly. Halfway there, Al saw a slant of light coming from underneath the bottom of the door to the main room. Al pushed open the door and found Sam standing in front of the sink staring at himself in the mirror. Sam? Sam looked at Al's reflection on the mirror, then back at himself. Feeling alright, kid? Yeah. Al came up alongside Sam. He considered Sam his attention to his own image, then asked, "What you doing?" Sam for trying to. Who am I, Al? Al French, you are Sam Beckett. Sam looked dubious. Sam. He seemed to be trying out the name of his tongue. He leaned slightly close to his reflection and breathed intently at it. Al had watched Sam puzzle at his reflection for years. It had been a long time since the face looked back at him was actually his own. Sam wasn't sure anymore what he looked like. Didn't know himself when he caught sight of himself in a mirror. Damn, the retrieval program and damn fate of time, or whatever, for sending Sam back scrambled. Al tried to make light. I know you are a good looking guy, Sam, but you keep staring at yourself and people will start to think you vain. Sam forewarned but eventually stepped back away from the sink and looked at the Al. He was waiting. He did that a lot. Look to Al for something. Guidance. The detail on this latest leap helped. Al didn't know anymore. It was almost easier when Sam was leaving. At last there was always that objective, a goal, something to fix. You are up pretty late, Al nodded with a tentative smile. Sam nodded. Yeah, the riot woke me. Al tried not to look too baffled. Did you scream? Sam woke up screaming sometime. That was usually when Donna come and got Al, even out of bed naked with his lady friend. She couldn't stand to hear Sam nightmares and be helpless to comfort him. She needed Al with Sam then nearly as much as Sam needed Al. When had Al signed on to be needed so badly by so many people? Sam looked down, shame-faced. I might have. Al wanted to rage, not at Sam, for Sam. You know, Al said in a far more cheaper tone than he felt, I could use some fresh air. Let's go topside, would you say? Sam nodded and followed Al mutely. It was chilled outside. That was curse of the desert outpost that surprisingly cold nights, but the sky was clear and the stars amazingly brilliant against an ink black sky. That was definitely the Berk. Sam and Al walked side by side, silent as two sentries on the watch. They made this trip at all hours of the day and night, enough time that they both know where they were going. They didn't need to discuss it. It was a boulder that was just the right size to serve as a place to sit. Al used to call Sam the thinker when he found the brilliant young scientist perched on the rock and lost in his thoughts. Sam would smile every time because he was cultured enough to appreciate the reference. Equip, if the quip Al tossed out had been anything of sexual nature, it would have gone over Sam's head or been the recipient of glower. The moon that night was enough to see the ground and their favorite stone by as they near the Thinker Rock. When they reached the spot, Al sat down first. Sam sat down beside his old friend, closer than necessary, close enough that their thighs touched. Sam had never been the kind of person who craved physical contact. He always lived more in his head than his body, or so it seemed to Al. Sometimes Al thought Sam would be content to be Ziggy, pure thought and computing power and intelligent energy, without a frail body to hold him back. Since his leave home, Sam had taken to touching Al a lot. Al thought it was Sam's way of reminding himself that his best friend wasn't a hologram. It was Sam's way of reassuring himself that he wasn't alone anymore. They want to put me in hospital, Sam said as way of breaking their mutual silence. Al looked sharply at Sam. Who told you that? Bex? Bex. She wanted to bounce Sam off a bunch of lab coat. Sam was a little mixed up and she wanted to dump him. It was hard to believe that she of all people would abandon Sam to an institute, which is what it will be. Sam trouble wasn't an element of the body, it was a malady of mind. Hospitals for this kind of effective were not kind. Al knew that far too well. It made his blood boil to think that Sam ended up like his sister. Sam couldn't end up like Trudy. No, not Sam. Bex want to of all the rotten, underhanded treacherous. She said they want to, but they can't. Sam shrugged, said, my knowledge of the project mean I can't be trusted with anyone without clearance. They afraid of what I'll tell them. Good, Al said eventually. Let them be afraid. At last they won't put you in institution. Sam gave Al a vulnerable and questionable look. Al clasped Sam, protected by the nape of the neck. I'll shoot anyone who tried to put you in mental hospital. Sam smiled, thinking, no you won't. Al smiled in return and took back his hand. Both thought bitterly, if you only know, Sam, better he not. Thought, well, even if I don't shoot anyone, you can bet your ass I won't let them do it. Not going to happen, not unless it's over my dead body. It might be easier for everyone for Donna. Al wended and thanked the darkness that it could be missed. I know I am supposed to be in love with her. I wish I could be. I know she really hurt that. I don't remember her. I don't. You don't remember her at all? I remember driving to DC with her. Al forward, that wasn't you, Sam. Sam seemed puzzled, but I remember that. He thought a moment. Another leap? Yeah. Oh. Sam suffocated the toe of his shoe against the dirt, building up miniature barn that thought small cast a heavy shadow in the moonlight. Don't blame her. Al, she mean well. The doctor, I mean, she trying to do what she think is best for me. Biggs doesn't think she can give me the treatment I need. Who say you need any? And just what kind of treatment could you lab could give? You are not exactly a textbook case. That kind way of saying hopeless? I didn't say hopeless, Sam. You know, I don't think you are hopeless. I believe in you. Always have. Sam looked at Alden. Why? Why? Blurted. Sam nodded. Why did you help me get funding for a project Quantum Leap in the first place? You are not scientists. Why did you fight so hard to help me get the project off the ground? Under the ground, Al pointed out with a smile. Sam always rolled his eye. You know what I mean, Al? All shrugged. Well, you're right about the science. I don't get it. It make my head hurt to try. Brains like you handle the heavy duty thinking. So what was about in Quantum Leap that captive you? Honestly, you. Sam shook his head. Sam, people like you don't come along but once in lifetime. I'll just once in many lifetime as it turned out. You are so true. Before I met you, Al dropped his eye to the ground. I haven't believed in people like that since before I went to Vietnam, and I don't know if anyone has ever believed in me like you did. Do? Al smiled, and for the first time at night was genuine. See? So it was never about the project. Not at first, but when I got to know you, you really give me a gift, Sam. You lend me your dream. I forgot how to dream for myself. So are you. And boy, what a dream. Sam smiled a little wistfully. Yeah, I felt in love with the idea of what you were doing in my own way. I have had my fair share of time. I wished I could go back in time and change history. I needed to believe you could do it. Sam smirked. Mission accomplished. I laughed. Yeah, mission accomplished. Sam went quiet for a moment. What's going to happen to me, Al? Al almost reached into his pocket for handle it on reflect, but then was no handy time defining supercomputer to help him answer this one. I wish I know, Sam. Maybe you should invent a way to see into the future this time, so we can get the answer. No more traveling through time, Sam said gravely. You know what I like most about being back? To all encouraging head tech, Sam said, the peace. I may not remember everything I should, but I'm not supposed to save the world anymore. I can relax. I don't have to worry anymore. I don't know what's going to happen to me, but at least no one is counting on me. That's not true, Al thought, but he didn't try to help Barton atop Sam back again when he had only just believed himself shed of them. Let Atlas catch his breath. The way I see it, Sam, you have enough good karma stockpile to get you from Rousey to the mud whistling match in the sky. Sam gave him a dark look. You think having two Saint Cloud women covered in mud grubbing with each other? If that isn't heaven, I don't know what it is. Did I screw up? I want to see if this gamma can move. If that isn't heaven, I don't know what it is. Sam shook his head, but at the same time reached out and warped at an arm around Al. His hand came to rest on the Admiral's far shoulder and squeezed. Al could get used to touchy Sam after so many years reaching out for him and finding only air. It was comfort to him too. You'll be okay, Sam. You'll see. Whatever you remember them or not, you have people who loved you, and you always have me. Sam smiled softly. I'm glad to remember you. I'm glad I remembered you. So am I. Sam dropped his hands back to his lap and tilted his head back to look up to the stars. Al stood and turned to his friend before Sam could fill his head with another dream. He wanted Sam to dream, but Al couldn't stand for Sam to close another dream just yet. Al needed rest, too, and any adventure Sam found himself in, Al would be there. He was Sam Wingman, and always will be. Come on, let's go back inside. It's freezing out there. Sam nodded absently, pushing himself up off the thinker rock. And follow, I'll lead. The two men followed a step for the walk back through the desert, side by side. The sky looked more indigo than black, and their air wasn't nearly as cold as it had been when they first come topside. Donna would be worried as soon as Al put Sam to bed. He had to find her and let her know Sam was okay. Sam would be okay. All believe that. Believe it the way he believed in the sun rising and the tides turning. Men as remarkable as Sam Beckett weren't meant to be fade away into the background. Maybe Beck and Donna, Alistair and Ziggy had given up on Sam, but Al wasn't ready to throw in the tower yet. Al owned a debt to Sam that he could never repay. Whatever it took, he see to it that Sam was okay. Sam wasn't done doing great thing. As Dr. Beckett and Admiral Calavier strolled in rested back town the project complex entrance, Sam began to sing softly. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unremarkable stars. I'm sorry, I don't know the song, so I'm sorry. Al listened to his final singing and thought somebody you reach the star, kid. Someday you reach the star, kid. Now the question is, how do you get back down? Al reached up and put hand on Sam's shoulder. The end. Actually, this is a very simple kind of story. I love it a lot. I'm glad to read it. I would not say that like it is the perfect ending for Quantum Leap because it does not answer a lot of questions, and I don't think it is the perfect ending, but it is a good ending and better than the ending we got, because the ending we got in the show was weird. I heard they discovered like alternative ending, but I never say anything about it. There are 18 reviews, which I read a few of them, which before I read the fiction itself. Amazing. Oh boy, this one great story. I often wonder how it will be when Sam finally got home. You give us a very sad but terrific and very touching look into it. Yeah, you can be say. It is a great betrayal of a friendship between Sam and Al. I loved every line of it, and the line from the man of La Manche were just the itching of the cake. Thank you so much for this story, Vicky. Which, yeah, when had Al sing on the needed of badly by so many people. I love this time. I love this line. To me, this is very likely what it was like to Al after Sam leaped. Really great job. Really great job. And NEC, but a very moving story, and you did a lovely job at capturing the friendship between these two men. I remember an episode of Quantum Leap where something similar to this happened. Yeah, me too. Where's the leap into the institution where they do electric shock therapy? Just wondering if you decide to quarantine this story, if you can have him uh, cured by something similar, like being struck by lightning or go through. Oh, poor Sam. After all he didn't get to come home completely. Wow, what a superb story. My first foray into Quantum Leap fake was a good one. I really enjoyed this story. I like how you showed at the affirmation of leaving so honestly. The friendship between Sam and Al was awesome. I can't believe how you captured their character so well and convert their tragedy as well. Oh my goodness, what to say? The story is just so good. You use language well and probably you have character written extremely well. You shall be happy with this one. Off the hook at you other story. In the last 20 years, there have only been two TV shows that I have watched that any reality at all. A Quantum Leap was the better of the two. Thank what the other two. Second. Thanks for this epilogue and that hope that Sam will recover someday. Thank you for warmly regard. Very nice story. Nice capture. Nice chapter was like there are more but no. So I will not read more. Actually, I like the story so much, and I like the writing. I want to know what Miss Anne write. Ooh, a lot of stuff. It's like okay, we just will see what kind of stuff she or he write for. Supernatural, supernatural, supernatural. Wow, so many supernatural. Supernatural Star Trek. Supernatural, 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 supernatural. Harry Potter, like everyone else. Dark Angel. Oh, no one. I never see Dark Angel fan fiction before. Supernatural, supernatural. Oh, shit, so many supernatural. Like this is her main thing. Supernatural, so many supernatural. Star Trek, the original series. Quantum Leap. Okay, that's the one we read. I was hoping for another one. Quantum Leap from the same writer. There are X-File. There's Stargate. Stargate, I mean. Oh, Stargate, Star Trek, Farscape, X-File, Star Wars, Stargate. I think we understand now what this writer into. Stargate, Star Wars, X-Files. Actually, this is a good story, and I like the writing of you, MissAnnThropic. And I hope everyone enjoy this fan fiction, and I hope we be here again with more Quantum Leap. There are another fanfic I found for Quantum Leap. The other one is a crossover, and the idea of the crossover with Doctor Who. Just think about it. There are fanfiction about Quantum Leap and Doctor Who. That's awesome. Actually, I was thinking about should I do this or Doctor Who? Because Doctor Who and Quantum Leap is like awesome mix. But I decided to read the short one because the other one is like over 100 chapter, 100,000 word, so it is longer than this. This is only 5,000, and I don't feel I'm ready yet for start reading long fiction in this channel. But maybe I start with that one. I mean, Doctor Who and Quantum Leap. But for now, I will say goodbye and see you with another fiction next time. Goodbye.